Thank you.
This really is incredible today, and you are in charge of this. Yes.
Super. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so folks, thanks for joining us. We are going to whistle through this, hopefully in an hour, but I'm hoping that it will be useful just in terms of what we're really trying to focus on now going forward. And I don't know if you are aware of it, because I'm very aware that I am talking to people who have been in the business 15, 16 years, right through to people who have joined this week. So we've got the full spectrum here, and that's wonderful. But it's actually something that is going to affect us all, really. And I think, you know, the sooner perhaps some of us oldies can get our heads around it and actually move forward with this really clear focus, the better it will be. So sadly, I guess the way things are at the moment, there are more and more people looking for income opportunities, you know, and I think that the more redundancies are just around the corner when the whole furloughing situation changes. So we have got, that's the downside. The positive is that we have genuinely got a way that we can help a lot of those people. Not everybody, but we have got an opportunity to help many of them. Okay, so we're going to run through what do we do with new partners. And folks, what I really want to get across is that actually we are focusing on who can we go and talk to who would like an extra income stream, or who do they know who would like an extra stream of income. And that's the way that we want to help our new partners in our team focus as well, far more than on the customer gathering side, which perhaps is traditionally what you might be used to. Sorry, I'm just seeing that there are people in the waiting room. Karen, I don't know if you can do that. So it's about building on the team, and I think that is a smart way of going forward. Okay, so I'm going to
sorry, Karen, I can't because you're host.
waiting room. Okay.
So if you could just let them in.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Okay, so they're coming in now. Okay, so I'm going to share one of my screens with you, and I just want to let's go with the assumption that Karen Gaskell, this could be complicated actually, Karen, we're both called Karen, but Karen G has just joined my business as a new partner. Okay, now the very first thing, sometimes we can get a bit overwhelmed by what are we going to do with that person. So let's keep it really simple. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is say, Karen, it's great that you've come on board. Okay, but actually I don't want you to say anything to anybody at the moment. Folks, sorry, I am going to ask if you have got background noise, if you could just mute, that would be much appreciated. Okay, I can't see everybody at the moment. Oh, sorry. Okay. So let's not, please, Karen G, don't say anything to anybody, okay? But if you start thinking of people you think might be interested in an extra income stream, just jot their names on a piece of paper or on a small little notebook. Is that all right? Can you do
yes,
that?
okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I would like you to do, please, is you'll have had a welcome email from head office, and you just need to click on the link there and complete the online training. Okay, now it takes about 3 hours in total. It's modular, so you can do it in bits at a time, but it will take about 48 hours for you to complete. Okay,
right.
So how soon do you think that you could complete that training, Karen? Bearing in mind that most people try to do it in their first 48 hours of from now.
Well, I'll do it in 48 hours. If you're telling me I've got to do it in 48 hours, I'll have it done.
Well, does that sound okay with you? Is that because you've got to set, you're your own boss now, Karen, so you're going to set your own targets and goals here. I'm not your boss.
Right, okay, yes. No, I want to get on with this. I'm really excited about it.
Okay,
Definitely.
so 48 hours. So it's 1 o'clock, sorry, it's 3:30 on Monday. So let's say then by Wednesday. So if I was to call and we had a meeting at about 6:30, or let's say 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening, how would that sound?
That's fine. That's good.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. So any questions with that online training, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you will have done your online training when we meet at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. Is that okay?
Yes, yes. And what if I don't get it done by then?
Okay, no problem. Obviously, it would be interesting to know, if you've got any issues, but we won't have that meeting until you have completed your online training, okay?
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Okay, okay. And then thirdly, the only other thing is that what I'd love to do is actually share a CD with you that will perhaps help you with your understanding of network marketing and, the mindset that actually helps us to build a big business.
Oh, okay.
So, folks, I'm coming out of script here quickly because I'm always going to send, if I can, and if you want an audio copy digitally, I'm very happy to give you Paula Pritchard's Recruiting Made Simple. CD1 is all about mindset. And I think, the sooner we can get our new partners listening to that, the better. But I'm never going to argue if people want to give Eric Worre, GoPro, or this one, which they tend to, or they used to get in their starter pack, which is Making the Shift. Again, that's another one. So we just want people to be thinking about their mindset. So they're the first three things, okay? And what's really important, I think, is not only timing, but also delivery. We've got to get the timing right, but our delivery of actually really showing people that we know what we're doing and how we can best support them. Okay. Folks, anybody got any questions on what I have covered so far that they would like to? Would you like to unmute and feel
Will
free
you
to-
send us some copies of these slides you're putting up?
I can do, yeah, Yvonne, no problem. Yeah.
Thank you. Save me scribbling it down.
Yeah, sure. Okay. This is being recorded. Oh, I hope it's being recorded, so we'll send you out as well. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Question I often get asked is, Karen, why can't I talk to anybody yet?
Okay, because that's a great question, Karen, and I'm glad you asked. Quite simply, people know you for what you currently do, okay? If you suddenly start talking to them about Utility Warehouse, they'll wonder what on earth has happened. And so when they're not expecting you to start talking about Utility Warehouse, their anxiety levels will be high and their cooperation levels will become very low, okay? So what we're keen to do is keep their anxiety levels low and their cooperation levels high, okay? So in our next meeting, what we're going to do is talk about building a story so that people will be able to understand what you're doing so that when you go to talk to them, they'll be far more emotionally connected and then really want to buy into what you've got to tell them far more. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand that. Thank you very much.
Great. Okay, so let's admit. Right, it's all happening here. Okay, so we then go on to the so let's assume then Karen has completed her online training. Okay, we have now whizzed forwards to Wednesday 7 o'clock to our arranged meeting. So I'm now going to share my next screen and I'm going to go, she says, into the portal. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my portal. Show all screens. It's not coming up. That's clever, isn't it? It's a live show. Where on earth is that? There we are. Okay. So I'm actually just going to go up here, folks. So sorry, Louise, I'm going to put you on mute if that's okay, just so that we don't get that background noise. Okay, so folks, it's 7 o'clock on the Wednesday. This is my second meeting with Karen. She's completed her online training, and I'm going to say, hi, Karen. You completed your training. How was it? What did you like best about it?
Oh, yes, it was really easy to do. I'm a little bit technically challenged, but it was fine. It's good. Now I know lots about it.
Good. Anything particular you liked best?
I liked I like the videos.
Yeah, good. Short and simple, straight to the point.
Yes, bite-sized pieces. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
great.
good. Very, very easy explained.
Fabulous. And there's a whole wealth of information and short videos there. So please, please keep going back and having another look at some of the other videos and things. Keep building on what you've already started. Okay. But today we're going to go through a few very simple processes. And so, and this is where I would ask Karen to go, I'll just do it on mine for now, but Karen, if you open up your portal and you can see there it says learning portal, okay, I'm going to ask you to click on that. Okay, and then I'm going to ask you to go to Hot Topics number 2, where it says the Fast Start Plan, okay, click on that, and then open the Fast Start Plan. Now, this is a process that is actually getting fantastic results. And so I want to help you get off to a fantastic start. So let's just work through this together. Okay, how does that sound?
Yes, that's great. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So, and again, I'm not going to go through all of these bits, guys. You know where it is, and by all means, go and have a look yourself at it all. But I'm going to press continue. And now, because we typically are with the supported the new partner, we're supporting them, I'm going to click on this one. If you, this is for a partner who has joined, they really are not being supported, and there's some extra questions and help for them. But we're going to go on this one because I'm with Karen. So Karen, this first thing, and I know we talked about it, which is, you know, why you decided to join the business. But I think what's really crucial is we work on your why so that we really make it crystal clear as to why you joined the business, okay? So what is it that inspired you to start?
Well, I was caught really in the sort of sandwich generation. I need to look after my elderly mum, but I've got grandchildren and need to be there to help them when my daughter goes back to work. But I've been working at Marks and Spencer's, and to be honest, it's very low pay and really inflexible hours. So when I found this business, I just thought, that sounds good. I can do this from home and got all the flexibility of choosing my own hours. And of course, the money's a lot better than what I'm going to be getting. So yeah, that's my why really, just to help move me on.
Right. And what do you want to achieve from the business?
I want to achieve financial, you know, some money, and I can see that can be done, but it's also the flexibility, so buying back some time as well.
Okay, right, okay. And so yeah, why is getting that time back so important? What's that
Well,
with you to
as
do?
I've mentioned, family is very important to me, and I really want to be able to prioritize them, but of course we all need to earn money, and I've had my own business before, and I really like sort of being self-employed, and I think that's the best way, but it's hard. This is giving me the best of all worlds, really.
Right, okay. Well, and of course, folks, I'm whizzing through this. I would spend a bit more time talking to Karen and really getting her to connect in with her why, but for obvious reasons, I'm perhaps not going to do that so much today. But I would encourage Karen to write down in her plan what she has just said, because it saves it, as you can see. And so then, you know, getting people's why and getting it crystal clear is really important. But what I'm also going to do, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see the tell them your story on my screen? Is that showing?
No.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was going to be too clever. Let's just share it again. Right. Okay, now, does that work?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So Karen, what we're going to do is explain your why in just a slightly different way, so that, remember when you asked the other day why you couldn't go and talk to your friends straight away? Do you remember? And I said, just hold fire.
Yes.
And I talked about being emotionally connected. We want to keep their anxiety levels low so their cooperation levels are high. Now, people tend to buy on emotion. And if they understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, there's a far greater chance that they will be willing at least to listen and maybe even to you know, take part and get involved as well. So the why that you've just told me, we're going to split it right down into very succinct, simple stories. So I'll give you my example. So I tend to say to people, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mum. And what I love about it is I've got flexibility around my children. The problem was that I wasn't having any brain stimulation or personal challenge, but I found a solution. I found a way I can be at home with the kids, have a mental challenge. Would it be okay if I show you how it works? Okay. So given the why that you have just given me, What do you think yours would be? What would you say? You know, I'm a...
Sorry, I'm trying to work it around. So you know, I've got my mum and my grandchildren.
Yeah.
What I love about it is being able to support them and be there for them. But the problem I've got is my inflexible working hours and fairly low pay, which doesn't allow me that kind of flexibility. Well, I found a solution. Would it be okay if I show you what it is?
Fantastic. And how does that feel to you?
It feels really good, actually, because it's my story, isn't it? It's not somebody else's, it's my story. So to be honest, I think once I've said it a few times, yes, it's given people the reason why I'm doing it.
Bingo. And you know, when it is authentic and when it comes from you, that's people will know that they'll buy that from you because they know that yeah, it's genuine, you know. So that is really important, folks, that we say, and you know, we say something that is genuinely meaningful for us. Okay, so we're going to just make a note of that, Karen, because this is something that I think will be crucial when we go to talk to people. Okay, and we don't have to give chapter and verse when we're talking. It's just very, very simple, because of course one of the reasons we're talking to people is that we're hoping that they might want to do what you're doing. Now, the simpler we can keep it, the more chance there is of them thinking, gosh, I can do what Karen's doing. She's not making this very complicated. I can do it too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to store that away for later. Okay. Folks, anybody got any questions about that bit? So everybody happy? Okay. So then let's go back to sorry, it's not that obvious as to, right, we're now back on that the fast start plan, which was on the portal. Okay, now Karen has filled in that bit, and actually, Karen, you might just want to fill it in as, you know, I'm a, you know, mum and grandmother, you know, so you could do that. Okay, so we would spend time just filling that in. Okay, so the next thing then, Karen, is just to figure out, you know, how much money would you like to make on a monthly basis that would make a difference to you then, so that you can spend that time with the children and grandchildren?
Oh, I certainly think at least sort of, well, not least, but if I could, 1,400 a month would be great. That would really free me up, definitely.
Sorry, did you say 1,400?
1,400,
Yeah,
yes.
right. Okay, and we'll show you how you can do that. In fact, when we were talking, you could see that that was just by introducing 4 multi-service customers every month. So, but that's good. That's great. And what I would ask Karen is actually, what are the tangible benefits? You know, what would that 1,400 enable you to do? We won't go through that now for time reasons, but again, the more that we can help our new partners really understand that A, they can earn this money, but B, what emotionally would they be able to benefit from, or who could they benefit from, you know, from helping earn this money, or they would help with their family. You know, the more tangible the benefits, the greater that you know, that will be tied to wanting to achieve. Okay, so now we're going to go to building that list. Remember I said, did you write any names in that list I mentioned, that, you know, of people you could think about?
I've got about 6. I haven't
Great.
got that many, but I've got a few.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to go on and develop that. Now, folks, just, I'm sorry, we're going to just slightly change it because this is something we're just practicing in training. Karen is now suddenly going to become the partner who is leading. And you're just going to practice going through the list builder, Karen. So
Yeah,
over to you for this bit.
do you want to give me back host then, and I'll...
Yes, I will. So
Thank
stop
you.
share, and I'm going to go to so are you Keith and Karen on here?
Yes, I probably am.
Okay, make host. Yeah, There we are.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Wonderful. So I'm just going to share my screen now. Go back here. This will help you just remember where everything is. So when you come in, we're into the learning portal, fast start plan. And the great thing is it just helps you follow a plan that everybody's doing, and it's recording it. So we haven't got bits of paper anywhere. So I'm just going to flick down to where we've got to. Take a couple of seconds. Right, we've done the why, done the figure. Now we're on building a list. Now, this is probably one of the most critical, important parts of your business. I'm just trying to reduce all this so I don't see that. And by having a list, it's something we should be building, not as a one-off, not just for today, but continuously throughout our sort of business career. Now, do I hand on heart do that? No. Which is why we need to regularly come back and revisit list building as a skill, as a training, and keep reminding ourselves. So whether you've just started in the business, or Derek Thomas is a national group leader, he's gone back to doing this as well, because it keeps your business kindled, if you like, with fresh people to talk to. But if you're not writing any names down, you don't have a business. So looking at these 3 boxes here, we've got 5 names of people who are switched on, ambitious and motivated. Let me just explain why we're looking at these types of people first. Now, the best way to build your business and achieve the money that you want to achieve and the time freedom is to have others join you in the business, not just doing it all by yourself. So we want to speak to people first who might want to join your business. Now, if you want to do your grandma who's 87 later on, when you know what you're doing, that's lovely. And I'm not really prejudging, but it's unlikely that she wants to start a new career now. So we're going to focus first of all on building a list and looking at those that are switched on, ambitious and motivated, because they might want to join your business. We're also going to write down 5 names of people that you're a little bit intimidated to talk to. You'll hear this called the chicken list quite often. The reason people we're a little bit intimidated by are perhaps in our minds, we see them as quite successful. Maybe they have already got a business. They seem to have things switched on. They're quite, savvy. But actually, they are the ones we probably need to speak to first. And if they are that way, they will be more than happy for you to show them something new that you're doing, and again, might be interested in the business. And then 5 people that you would ask them to do a favor for you, because these people are helpful, they're kind, they're obliging, they're the sort of people that might pick you up 2 a.m. from the airport or something when we're flying. So initially, that's the thought process in building our list. So I didn't have more than 6, so we're going to say no, I didn't have a list of more than 15 or more, because you need to have at least 15 to really start your list. And what we'll do, we've come in here, we've got 2 buttons there. One is the memory jogger. I'm going to click onto it. Now, hopefully all of you have seen this before, but if you're new in the business, you may not have done. And this is a really useful piece of kit, really. It helps us at whatever time we've been in the business to kind of go back over our list. We call it FROGS, and it stands for family and friends, recreational contacts, occupational contacts, geographical contacts, and same name. But actually, even if you read all those boxes, it's very tempting just to skip over the titles, but read all those boxes. Just give it a few minutes now while we're looking at this, and it will remind you of people that you haven't thought of, I guarantee you. Okay, so we're looking at all the different areas of our lives: family, recreation, occupational, geographical. And the great thing with geographical now, although we have always been able to sign people up at a distance, it wasn't the common norm. And I think there was a kind of bit of a barrier there, really. Well, we've got no restrictions now. There's no holding us back. We can go anywhere in the UK and approach people. because also the general public have been educated in doing things online as well. So we've got that at our advantage now, which we didn't have before. And then if you scroll to the bottom, this is again the types of people. So, you know, people who deal with the public, people who have been in sales, who work in a shop, somebody who runs a printing business or is retired but active. So there's all different sectors of people. Now remember as well, don't forget we've got UW Stories which feature around a lot of these people in their sectors. So always keep that in mind when you're talking to people who want to have a look at the business. So I'm going to stop sharing, not stop sharing, I'm going to just come out of that for a second. Sorry, technically challenged. I will stop sharing for the moment so I can get back to where I want to be. Sorry, Karen.
Huh?
It's all right, I know what I need to do. Little X has dropped down. Partner training, right. Okay, so you can see here now we've got a little tick box on the right. And what I'm going to do, when I click on that box, it's going to take me, because this would be me doing this, it would take your new partner to List Builder and to be able to put in 3 minutes as many names as they can think of. So we can do this. I hope if you're able to get up your List Builder or whatever builder you're using at the moment, guys, let's give it a go quickly. Have you got time, Karen, to do that?
Yeah, how are we doing for time?
No, okay, we won't do that.
Yeah, because let's assume that.
Let's assume this is me.
Yeah.
Now Karen's taking the role of me. So we've now gone into List Builder and we would allow 3 minutes for that person to enter and click, enter and click, enter and click, and really get as many names down on paper. Later on, you can go back and add some detail and phone numbers, etc., etc. And as you move on in the business, you'll find there's different ways of recording and tracking your contacts. But for the moment, this is a brilliant tool. It helps you to follow up. It helps you to have a know for now list. So with 3 minutes has passed by, we've finished adding. Obviously, I haven't put anybody in, and we're just going to come out of that and go back to the main board.
Okay.
Okay. And at the end of that, we will be, hopefully, we'll have a list of people to talk to, and they'll fall into those sort of 3 categories. We can help them categorize and prioritize the ones that are, first of all, homeowners, because as you know, homeowners are obviously going to give us the best remuneration up front. So we want to know the homeowners as well. Once we've got through that, I don't know why it's got a bit fuzzy. Oh, okay, right. So now we've got our list. We've said we're going to make some calls, and I'll hand back to Karen to do the appointments.
Thank you. Okay, so folks, thanks for that, Karen. Just waiting to be host, and I'll take over the screen if that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1 second.
Okay. So, folks, that might seem quite onerous, but I think what we're just trying to do, number one, is encourage people to write a list of names, okay? That's the most important thing. The second important thing is, as Karen said, it's to do it on a daily basis, to get into that daily habit of adding a few names. And sometimes it could be, you know, I always prompt them when I'm boiling the kettle. Who could I actually, so I've got literally 1 minute while the kettle is boiling. Who can I think of to add to my list? When I'm sitting or driving and we're at a red traffic light, who can I add to my list? So I'm just use little prompts throughout the day just to remind me. And I think the other third important thing there is that by using that list builder, we're encouraging people to keep their names all in one place. Because certainly when I started, and boy, if I could start again, the one thing, I've got pieces of paper everywhere, I've got half books started there, and I never actually had them in one place. So Karen mentioned there that the list builder, which is on the front of the portal, and I'd obviously really make sure that our new partners understand how they can use that. But actually, if they're good old fashioned paper and pen like me, then you don't have to use that portal. You know, just having one single book where you carry it around. Obviously, there is that worry that if you lost it, you've lost your business.
I think that's the beauty of the list builder now, Karen, is that, you know, we've always got a phone with us generally or within reach. So, you know, even if you are just in the shops or in the queue and you go, oh, yeah, oh, that's reminding me, oh, that chap looks like John. Oh, I haven't put John on my list. I must do that later. Well, you won't remember later. Just grab your phone and put John on the list.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. So, so is everybody happy with that list builder there? Any questions any of you have got?
No.
No? Happy? Okay. So Karen mentioned, and she was quite right, that actually we're thinking about homeowners because we know if they go and introduce a homeowner as a customer, then of course there's a greater chance of them getting quit. And we want new partners to see success as quickly as possible, obviously for obvious reasons. But I'm going to say, let's take an extra wider look at this at the moment. And most people are joining the business at the moment. So once they've got their list, what we want to be saying to our new partners is, okay, let's have a look down your list. Now, who do you know who is open-minded? And Karen mentioned those, what we call perhaps the SAMs, they're the self-motivated, they're ambitious, maybe they're self-employed, but you know, who do you know who's open? And I would actually get the new partner then to actually put a little cross next to those kind of people, and then say, okay, so you know, we're going to talk to some of those people. And one of the other qualifying strategies you might want to do is say, so if Karen had got a list here and I said, right, Karen, I want you to look at the people on that list who are the most open to new ideas, maybe to earning some extra income, or who do you know who might be facing unemployment shortly, you know, those kind of things. But in addition to that, I'd say, okay, there tends to be, speaking very, very generally, two types of people. Those who think logically and those who think emotionally, okay? And we know from the colours that the emotional ones are going to be the yellows and the blues, and the more logical thinkers are going to be the reds and the greens, okay? Now we're going to go for the emotional thinkers first, just because they tend to, you know, well, perhaps they're the ones who are perhaps faster at making decisions. I'm not going to get into that one. Anyway, so I would actually ask Karen, on your list, who is, you know, who do you think are perhaps the more emotional thinkers, okay? And then I'm going to say, because what we're going to do, now you've identified some, is we're going to actually make some appointments together, Karen, okay? Now, the first thing is, you'll be pleased to know, or maybe, well, I'm hoping you'll be pleased to know, I'm going to support you on these appointments. So I don't want you to worry that you have to do anything. And this is really just a training opportunity, okay? So we're going to ask somebody if we could practice running through the presentation so that we could have a training chance and we can learn some stuff together. Is that okay? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. And you know what we're aiming to do is help you to get your first 10 customers. So then you're really off to a rolling start, okay? So we're going to aim to get at least 6 appointments in the diary in the next 10 minutes or so, okay?
Right.
And we're going to use a very, very simple script, okay? Now, you can see the script here. You see I've just opened it up there on the plus sign. And quite simply, all we're going to say, Karen, is, hi. Well, who's that first person on your list? Who are we thinking of?
Oh, I think I'm going to ring Ruthie.
Ruthie, okay, so, and ordinarily I'd say, so how do you know Ruthie? And I'd ask a bit of information about Ruthie. So what we're going to say, Karen, is, hi Ruthie, it's Karen, it's just a quick call, you know, how are you? Listen, I've just started a new business and I'm after a favour. I'm in my training phase, and in order to complete my training, I need to book 6 appointments. Now, I'm looking to do these over the phone, or, you know, obviously to do an internet presentation at the moment. Would you do me a massive favour, and would you let us show you it, please. You know, when are you free? Are you free later today or tomorrow? Okay. How does that sound to you, Karen?
Well, yes, that sounds all right. Well, what if she asked me what it's about?
It's a really good question. So I'm going to say at this moment in time, because we're just practicing the presentation, you're just going to say, look, if I try to explain it now, it's going to take me hours, but I can show it in literally a 12-minute presentation. So I'm glad you asked, but I'm going to give you the full picture in my training in 12 minutes. Is that okay? So did you say today or tomorrow, which would be better for you?
Yeah, today.
Okay, right. So you happy with saying that to her, if that's what she asks?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So why don't we just have a practice? Why don't you pretend to ring me and just run through that script? Say it out loud to me first.
Okay, all right. Am I really doing this?
Yeah. Well, no, just to me. Practice with me first.
Yes, okay then.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this, not ring you.
Yeah. No, just yeah.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hi. Hello. Hi, Karen.
Oh, hi, Karen. It's Karen here. It's just a quick call, actually. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, just a quick call. Look, I've just started a new business and I'm after a favour. I'm in my training phase, and in order to complete my training, I need to book 6 appointments, but I need to do them with my my mentor. She's training me.
Okay.
I'm really looking to do these over the phone at the moment, obviously, or over the internet. Would you do me a favour and let us show it to you? Are you free Monday or Tuesday?
Okay. How long is it going to take, Karen?
About half an hour to show you.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Because I would probably say about 15 minutes, because we're only going to show at the moment.
Show the presentation. Okay.
But 30 minutes is a fair comment. So okay, yeah. Well, I could do tonight, 7 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. That's
Okay.
great. I'll see you then. I'll give you a call.
Okay, that's great. Fabulous.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So now, do you want to do a real one?
I was just seeing if
This is pushing Karen Gaskell out of her comfort zone.
yeah, you are. Yeah.
But you know, folks, I genuinely think that this is the hardest thing for us to do as supporting partners. And actually, when we're feeling really comfortable with it, and you know, that's where the magic happens.
No, I think it's good. I'm just finding somebody that okay, let's try this one. See if she's in. Sorry, this person can't answer at the moment. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That wasn't arranged, honestly.
Okay, well, we'll leave it for the moment, but I think, folks, what we're trying to demonstrate is that it's really easy at this point for me as the partner to say to Karen, the new partner, actually, do you know what? Do you want to make those phone calls when you go home tonight?
Yeah.
And it's but actually, if you can sit there, and actually, what I have done, sorry, which I forgot to tell you, is just before Karen starts making those calls, is to say, okay, so Karen, I am free Monday night, 7 till 9. I'm free on Tuesday, X, Y, and Z time. And I give those times so that when Karen is then in her diary trying to negotiate times and appointments, she already knows what my free times are, and I block them out, you know. So your diary can get a bit messy because, you know, and I'd suggest writing in pencil because these things keep changing. But the crucial thing is that we actually guide those new partners, helping them with those calls there and then. Because Karen might say something on that call and I might be able to just coach her a little bit with it. And it has been known for me to actually record that call, for nobody else to listen to, only for that new partner to listen back themselves, and then I delete it because it's only for them to hear themselves. And the overwhelming response I always get is, oh wow, actually I sound better than I thought I did. you know, so it's usually a very positive one. They see I delete it, it's nobody else is going to see it, it's gone. Okay, it's just in that moment. Okay, any questions, anybody?
I'm going to have to go now.
Okay, Yvonne. Okay.
I've got an appointment, a phone appointment. We'll see how I get on.
Good luck.
Oh, good
Well
luck.
done.
Bye.
Doing the do. That's what we like.
Bye.
I think if I can just reiterate, Karen, and I've seen some other traders doing this. That yes, getting the appointments there and then. We've done that with our team. We've sat there and we've made the appointments there and then. And those that are on the call will validate that getting the appointments there and then, it really helps, because you're sitting there supporting them. If you just say go away and do it yourself, and any courage goes.
It's scary. It really is scary.
It's
Particularly
scary,
those
but
first
if
ones.
you're there waiting and just supporting them while they make that call, and then they get excited when they've done the first one, and then the second one and the third. What would you say about people who say, I don't ring people, I always text?
Yeah, great question. I'm glad you asked me that, Karen. So I'm going to say, do you know, what we need to do is always remain authentic. And if you are the type of person who messages your friends, and that's what they would expect, then there's a strong argument for saying to continue to message them, okay? But that said, I just want you to know that actually people do have far more success, it seems, when they pick up the phone and talk to them. But if you've got a friend who's going to panic because you phoned them and they think that something really awful has happened, then obviously that's not the state that we want to get them into, okay? Does that answer your question?
Yep, absolutely, thank you.
But yeah, and so folks, we're aiming to get at least 6 appointments, because how is Karen, the new partner, going to feel when she's got 6 appointments in her diary ready to go? Now, we know that those 6 are probably not all going to become customers, or partners, and that's okay, you know. So I'm going to say that to Karen, you know, but I'll get onto that bit in a moment. We'll manage expectations in a moment, okay? So going down that fast start plan, we carry on. So the next bit I just want to tell you about, Karen, is that we have lots of events in this business, and obviously we're in a bit of a strange situation at the moment. We have a couple of big events every year, but what we do have going on at the moment during this lockdown phase is a virtual opportunity presentation, and it happens 4 times a week, on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, and I can certainly let you know the times of those. And quite simply, you can actually send a link to some of those prospects that you've just written down, and they can have, it's literally 12 minutes long, and they get an introduction to the business opportunity. And then obviously you can follow up with any questions that they might have. Now, what's really important is that you don't do a mass mailing of this. You know, I would suggest that you do it on a one-to-one and make it personal to each person that you give that link to, okay? How does that sound?
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. I think I have a look at it myself. That sounds good. And taking my customer hat off now, I think it's really good for us to get onto those calls as often as we can, because you will hear the presentation, which is basically pitching the business loads of different times, and it gets into your head. It's like just rerunning a film all the time, and the more you watch it, the better.
Yeah.
You know, from going to the op for many years, I picked up so many things just listening to how it was delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the only other thing I'm going to say about the big events, it's not on here at the moment, but it shortly will be, is that we've just started doing something called a Buzz event, and that is once a month, and it's where the directors, you can dial in and the directors are going to talk. And in fact, there's one next week. It's on the 16th of June at 7:30 in the evening, and the directors are going to talk to us about our annual report, which the results will have just been launched to the city. So that will be a really exciting meeting, and you'll get to meet some of the directors virtually and the CEO, Andrew Lindsay. So I would really recommend that you plug into that on a monthly basis. Okay, that's exciting. Okay.
Yes, no, sorry, yes,
Oh,
that sounds
okay.
great. I'll
And
book
then,
that.
sorry, I'm just going to go back to this. Now, what we can also do, if you have a group of friends that you think we could get them, before COVID, we used to get them all in one room. You could still do this virtually, almost like a Zoom call, but we can actually show a group of your friends a presentation for the business. So if you'd like to think about doing that as well, you know, as well as doing one-to-ones, we can do that, okay? Does that sound
That
interesting?
sounds, I'd like that. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so what we would do is book an appointment time where we can, in fact, let's put a date in our diary now. So let's, and I'm fast forwarding this, let's say next Thursday, 25th, 7 o'clock. And here is the invite that you can send out to your friends. And then we will do a Zoom on the 25th at 7:30 and talk to a group of your friends together, okay?
Okay, yep, that
Okay,
looks good. I can do that.
We would talk more about that. I'm not going to go into any great detail, but that's a great way of getting some momentum very quickly. Okay, I've whizzed through that bit. Has anybody got any questions on any of the bits so far? No? Okay. So Karen, that's your fast start plan completed. Okay. What's really exciting now is that we've got your why nailed, and you know in four simple sentences what your why is. We've got some list built, and we've got 6 appointments in the diary. The first one being tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay. And when we go on that appointment, what's really important is that obviously we'll have a bit of chat first to build some rapport with Ruthie, and then I will ask you to share your why. And I want you, please, to keep it just that very simple. You know, what I love is, what I don't like is, I found a solution, can I show you? Okay. And then I will run through the presentation. Okay. And then we'll encourage Ruthie to ask as many questions as she wants. These are all learning opportunities, and we're definitely not going to put her under any pressure to say yes to anything. It first and foremost is a training opportunity. Now, if she likes what she sees, then obviously we will offer her the business opportunity. But if she doesn't want to get involved, then we will still ask her if she'd like to see about becoming a customer. But more importantly, we would ask her for some referrals or recommendations of people that she knows who might be interested. Okay. So I want you to be rest assured that we're not going to put her under any pressure.
So, so you would do the 15-minute one, and if they like it, then you'd rearrange a full appointment with doing join the club.
So that's a really good appointment. Do you know, actually, there's a good point. No, actually, I think this is really crucial. At the end of the appointment presentation, I would say that we go straight in to the next part, whether she is interested in joining as a business partner, or if she says that she's not as interested in that, but she would like to see how she could save as a customer, then if it's possible, I would go straight into then showing her the benefits of being a customer, okay?
Yeah.
But I think what's really crucial now these days is that actually if we've got a level of interest, and the level of interest is in the business, I would now suggest that we introduce them as a business partner first at £100, okay? And they know that they can get £50 back when they become a customer themselves in the next 30 days, all right? You will still get, as the partner, you would still get your quip, you would still get your holiday points, even if they join as a partner first and a customer second, and they will still eventually end up paying just £50 for it.
Yeah, because I've seen that lately. People are more hungry really for the partner details
Yes.
than they are for the customer side. And the danger is if you do the customer route first, you can get caught in minutiae on the customer signing up and detail, whereas we want them to see the value of being a partner, and that yes, they may or may not save huge amounts on their own customer bill, but this is going to give an opportunity to earn so much more money that will pay for all their bills, because it's irrelevant really what their own saving is. Yes, we would hope they get it, but they're going to earn 250, 500, 1,000, £1,400. So that's the priority for them,
Yeah.
not whether they've save £2.50 on their broadband.
Absolutely. So let's just say, Al, can I come to you in 1 second, Al? What I'm going to say is, let's imagine if Karen was my prospect and she said, oh, I am quite interested in both, actually. Now, if I take her down the customer route first and we start filling out the form, and Karen actually then realizes that maybe she's starting to look at the kilowatt hours and the pennies, and maybe it's not that brilliant, I don't know, whatever. She might then start to question if she wants to become a partner. But actually, if I take her to the partner side first and introduce her as a partner first, then actually when Karen becomes a customer, she's wanting to join as a customer because it's going to support her business. So she probably is not going to be quibbling about the pennies or the kilowatt hours. She's just going to be saying, right, let's get this going because it's going to help me build my business. And it means I'll get my 50 quid back as well. Does that make sense? There's a kind of some silence. Al?
No, I had a question. So, you know, if we sign them up as a partner, fine, then they become a customer. Is there still a timeline that they have to link their customer account to their distributorship to get that £50 back?
So yes, 30 days. So within 30 days of them becoming a partner, they have to become a customer. And then they have to link their customer to their partner distributorship that same day to in order
So it's the second day they have to.
Yeah. So the minute they become a customer, and hopefully you can talk them through that.
Okay.
You talk them through it and then say, right, let's link it on your portal. Let's link it and make sure that they're both linked. So you get your £50 back. Aga.
Do they get it automatically, or they need to write an email or something?
No, as far as I'm aware, but I check about, as far as I'm aware, as long as they've linked this on the same day that they became a customer, then it should happen automatically.
Thank you.
Yeah. There are some stunned looking faces. Would you agree that people are actually looking to the business side perhaps more than the customer side at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, the stats and facts head office are overwhelmingly saying people are looking at the partnership. So remember, the customer side of thing is always just to get a foot in the doorway to talk to people about joining the business. So why are we going down that rabbit hole first when we could actually present them with a bigger picture first, and then the signing up as a customer just becomes by the way, that's just by default then that they become a customer so that they can show people how they're benefiting themselves. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you doing any different then, Karen, for your presentation?
So good question, Al. So so what I would say is with the presentation, again, I'm always using the word prospect because I don't know whether they're going to become a customer or a partner. So it's always the prospect appointment presentation. And in that chat at the beginning, I will just try to get some idea of which way they might want to go. Now, if somebody's saying to me, gosh, I've been furloughed and I'm a little bit worried about income or whether I'm going to be made redundant, I would probably say to them, well, look, let me just give you an overview of what we do and our credibility and our integrity as a company. And so I would just literally one sentence, and I would almost let Joanna Lumley do most of the talking on that bit, very, very quickly, that first bit, and then get to the second bit where I say, okay, so Al, you said, that, earning an extra income or recession or, whatever it is was a concern. This is the bit I really wanted to show you. This is the exciting bit of how we're able to help people. Let me show you, because everything I've showed you so far was about how customers can benefit. Now I want to show you how you could benefit by helping other people. Is that okay?
So are you just sticking with the video and the one slide?
Yeah, keeping it simple, yeah. Because let's face it, most people, if they've just been made redundant, need some bigger money up front quickly now, If you come across somebody who says, actually, don't need, it's not the money so much at the moment, I'm a bit bored, and actually I don't want to earn too much money because it's going to be tax implicated. I want to keep my tax, I want to keep under my whatever threshold. So, but it's a pension plan for me for later. Then I might talk to them more about the, the non-quick money. but most people at the moment are more interested in the quip. And we're just throwing that fishing hook in. We're not trying to sink them with all of the information, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just finish, folks, because I haven't quite. Let me just go on to the end of my. Let me just share this. So we did the first thing, and then we got to tell the story. So then I would perhaps just say, now, what is frustrating about this is it talks about being a customer. But what I think is really important with our new partner is that then we do a bit of a reality check. And I'm going to say, look, Karen, as great as this company is, and as fantastic a deal that we can offer people both to benefit as a customer and as a partner, you might be surprised to know that not everybody is going to say yes.
Really?
Okay? Yeah. And actually, that's okay. That's completely normal. Okay. So what we need to do is build our list as big as we can, because that is our business plan. And the bigger the list we have, the more potential. Because let's just say if you've only got 3 names on your list and the first 3 all say no, you're going to feel a little bit rubbish. But actually, if you've got 30 names on your list and the first 3 say no, then you've still got that sense of potential and still a lot of hope of things going well. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, but rest assured, when people say no, I want you to remember that Carol Morgan told you that that was totally normal, that you are normal, and it's all part and parcel of business. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
So we need some strategies in place. So I want you to know that actually, perhaps listening again to Paula, the CD I'm going to send you, I think, you know, that will help you when you get a few no's and you're beginning to wonder if this all works. All right. Or maybe it's looking at some of the other videos on the online training, but just something to know that it's all quite normal. And you can just see there, typically, if you make 8 calls, you probably get something around 4 appointments, and possibly 2 people will say yes as a partner. I don't like the fact that it says customers there, but customers or partners. Okay?
Yeah.
Statistically. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the norm. All right. Okay, so now we've prepared people so they don't feel suddenly as though it's all gone horribly wrong. And then finally, what I would do is, I'm just going to, sorry. I don't know if you can see that. I think that actually giving people a structure, some sort of, and maybe this doesn't have to actually be on the Fast Start plan, but I do think it's really helpful in the early days for new partners to get a structure and just say, you know, the great thing about this business is we're just trying to fill in the gaps. You know, so one of the first targets that you're going for, Karen, as a new partner is team leader. And that is where you'll have a minimum of 10 personal customers, and you'll have introduced 3 new partners who each will have 3, okay? And between you get 50, okay? We're not going to say that's going to happen by next week, but you know what you are working towards, okay? How does that sound?
I just concerned that they might worry that they don't know anything about it and they're not ready to be a leader. I've had that said to me before.
Yeah, great. That's yeah. And I would say I think that that is something that the company have discussed about that. And I'm going to say that please don't worry about that word leader. The only person that you really have to lead is yourself. Okay. And
all right.
Are you? Yeah. In fact,
yes, you'll be there, but you'll be there to support them, won't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And tell me, you've had children and you've got grandchildren.
Yes.
So you have been a leader of them over all these years. People have connotations of what a leader is, but actually you've already been a leader. You're a leader already. So don't get worried about that word. Yeah. But we're working as a team.
Yeah. Okay.
And then obviously we've got more. And if you want one of these, because we've got one of these structures all the way through, then it's there. And I'm happy to send those out to anybody who wants them. Okay. So folks, that was a whistle stop tour. And thank you, Karen, for your help on that. I don't know, has anybody got any questions or anything any questions at this point?
Can I just reiterate a couple of things, really? Obviously, we are focusing on partners, but the reason we want them to go through this Fast Start plan really quickly is like taking an intensive course of driving lessons. The quicker we do the appointments at the beginning and get them bulk, you know, maybe doing a 2 one day, 2 another, is to really help them learn this quickly so that they're often running independently, rather than, oh, we'll do 1 this week, or 1 in 10 days time, 1 in another few weeks. A, that's not going to help them at all learn it. B, it's not going to help you financially because you're going to get paid for it. So you want to make sure your time has value, and their time too. So bringing it all close together and making sure that they understand this is a 6-week, a 45-day mentoring program, which is going to start off sort of with intention and purpose. But you can also use this if you know, for yourself. You can draw a line under the sand. Any distributors in your team who are dormant, you could say, right, and I've done that with a few people in the team, say, right, let's just start again, right? You've joined today. This is what we're going to do. Now, as a leader, or you know, someone in your team, you're not going to get paid for that extra supporting, you know that. But if you get something back from them and you think, actually, this is worth working with, even if you're at the end of the phone at the same time as the call or whatever, but help them to start again and draw a line in the sand. I think we can then move a lot of our distributors onto being QDs and beyond.
Yes, great point. Thank you for that. I think, you know, well, yeah, I'm not going to say it all over again, but I think what we're finding is people who have been dormant are now saying, actually, now's the time, I need to do it. And actually, people who've cancelled before are now saying, now I need to rejoin and do it properly, you know. So, and don't be afraid to go to customers and have a chat as well, because a lot of people who perhaps have thought about it or have signed the dotted line but never actually got going, you know, they're people we can draw a line in the sand and get going again. So great point, thank you. Chris?
Yeah, do you think it's worth doing a presentation where it's just for a partner? So it's restructured the way what you say when you're just looking at a partner, somebody for a partner rather than a customer.
Yeah, and if you know that that's what they want to do, Chris, absolutely. If they've said to you, I'm looking at joining the business as a partner, then I would say, great. Again, I would show them the whole appointment presentation, but I would say, so Chris, what I'm going to do is just give you a very quick overview of the company, of its credibility, and the vehicle that we use to build our business. But literally, it's 1 sentence per slide. You know, it's really not much, because then they understand what we're doing, and then you can major on that whole. So Chris, tell me, why do you want this as a business? And you get, you know, we only have to do those 2, the video and the slide, but it's actually getting that person to really open up about why they want to do it. That's the crucial bit.
Do you still show the Jonah Lumley video as well?
Both of them, yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, yeah. Because again, this business is all about duplication, and it's all about just showing that appointment presentation, and then, you know, we might do the first bit in a more condensed way and maximize on the second bit, or we might do it all in one go. It's, you know, just equally, if we don't know which way we're going to go. But if we keep to that one appointment presentation, it's duplicatable. They'll remember what you showed them, and they'll show other people then when they join.
So I'm better now just do my scripts for a partner now when I'm doing the phone calls. I'm looking for a partner to join my business rather than looking for somebody to save money on their services.
Well, I think the stats show there are far more people open to that conversation at the moment, Chris.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Have some fun, give it a go, try.
If you don't want to be the direct approach, you can do the indirect approach. You're
Just
looking for
that,
people
yeah.
to join the business, and I thought you might know someone, and then they go, well, it could be me. So
Yeah.
indirect.
The indirect's more powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
Definitely. Back to Paula Pritchard. Yeah. And you know, yes, the last Friday, I just opened up Google, and I decided driving instructors in Newport, and I just phoned most of the driving instructors in Newport and said, you know, hi Chris, you don't know me, my name's Karen Morgan, but I'm working successfully with other driving instructors across the UK, and I'm wondering if you are open to an idea to earn some extra income. I'm looking for somebody to join me in the Newport area. And then they say, well, what is it? And I say, well, it's something that's flexible that you can fit in so that when your driving instruction business, you know, really kicks back in again, which hopefully won't be too long, you can still continue to do this on a flexible basis around it. Would you like me to show you how?
Yep.
And when they say yes, say, are you free for 15 minutes now? Okay.
Oh, right.
Here's the link, you know, www.uw.co.uk/remote. Tell me what you see.
Right.
And that's, you get lots of no's, but you get a couple of yeses.
That's what we want. Not the nose. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, but you can have some fun. Hairdressers, I don't know, you name it, you know, the whole caboodle. Anybody found any of that particularly new or interesting? I'm just intrigued. I'd love to get your thoughts on it.
I didn't know it. We had it there.
You hadn't done what? Sorry.
That we had it there. The fast start. You know
It's fairly new, Aga. That one is fairly new, but it's one that Alex Roberts has been using, and they've been having huge success on it. I mean, it's just been stratospheric. But I think the two crucial things that she says, it's about timing, and it's about almost posture, you know, it's about the delivery of it. And we're not having that second meeting until you've done your online training, because this is all about just filtering people through.
So almost before they sign up, Aga, you would be saying, this is, so I know you want to join, but this is what we're going to do over the next 6 weeks. We take it you want to start your business fast. Yes, well, then we'll meet in 48 hours. And if they can't do that, if this is the wrong timing, if literally there's a nice idea at the moment, but they just can't give, then suggest they don't sign up then. Suggest they give it a couple of weeks so the crisis has passed.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, because otherwise you'll end up with another D on your genie.
So when you do your,
when
you're doing your second appointment, Karen, presumably then book their virtual getting started as well, because they'll have done their online. Presumably then they'll book their online, their virtual online.
Great point, Al. Yes, so you could do that at the events section, couldn't you? Yeah.
And what about, so we've booked, are you going to go through the remote, the 3-way appointment, or is that another day?
I'll do it another day. I think that was enough. That was really just what, so we're not going to do that. But it is actually on the dashboard on our portal.
Yeah, version 2. Even I can find
it. See you up on it.
Don't, with everybody, don't be afraid to use it, because it's literally, it is split into 3 columns. You, the new ID, the new ID's prospect, and just follow it all through. And there's different ways of doing it depending on how many, what kit they've got. Let's put it that. So
absolutely. And if you want to have a practice, then shout. There'll be enough of us here. We're happy to help and have a play with it. We've been playing today. It's all part of the practice, and hey, it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, we go back to that. Louise.
Hello, yes. Do you know if your prospect has gone over his 45 days? Are you still able to support them on a remote call?
Absolutely. So, and I'm glad you said that. So you can still always support them. So with those Ds that Karen was just talking about, by all means, go back and support them. You won't get paid if they introduce people, but actually there's a bigger picture there. We just want to help them get going. Because again, one of the big strategies for the business is that we're trying to help build their list.
Yes.
And then, so even if you've got somebody who, so if I said to Alison, look, Al, I know you haven't been doing the business for a long time or whatever, but you want to have a go now. Tell you what, let's build that list. And we can start, we can draw that list out again. Now, if Al says that she's really, really busy for whatever reason, I can then say to her, look, Al, if you want to give me those names, use my time, your contacts, and I will talk to them on your behalf. If any of them say yes, we'll stick them in your team. I'm not going to steal them. But now
I've already done that bit, but it was just to actually, when you go into the screen, because when they're in the first 45 days, you get for your.
No, it doesn't matter. If you're supporting a partner, you're still supporting. The key is so that you can be in the call with them.
In the call,
Connect
I needed to know that was still possible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
Louise, it's changed. You can now get paid up to 10 of their customers the first 10 that they get introduced within the first 45 days.
Yeah,
You get
brilliant.
paid on the first 10.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a tip. It's not the first 10 appointments you go on, if you like. It's the 10 sign-ups. So I always say, so that could be 20 appointments we do together, possibly. You know, you don't want them to run away at appointment 4, 5, and 6. You want to be able to keep supporting in that 45 days.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah. Let's see, you know, some people might just be itching to go on their own, and
Yeah.
you know, so we can scaffold their learning, and then
Depends.
on who they are and how much help they want.
What I don't want them to think is the first 10 are going to sign up as customers.
I agree, totally agree. Yeah, good. Folks, I'm very conscious we've gone 15 minutes over. Has that been useful?
Yeah, been really good.
Yeah, valuable? Okay. Cool. And thank you for joining us. It's lovely to see you. And hello, Mike. Nice to see you as well, Mike. Okay, so we'll leave it there, folks. If you've got any questions, then please get in touch with either of us, and really keen to help and support. And let's go and help those people who need some extra incomes, because boy, I do genuinely think that we can do something to support them. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Good.
Yeah.
And we're here to support, you know, don't feel like you're on your own. That's the other crucial thing. We're here to support. We can do supported appointments. You know,
You
I'm
can
happy
be
to-
anywhere in the country.
Yeah, that's the great
I'm
thing.
off to Penrith in a minute.
You're off to Pembroke. Well, I know Aga was up in
Penrith, no,
Scotland.
Penrith. Up north. I'm going up north in a minute. I'm going to
Penrith, up north.
Penrith.
I know
Right.
Aga was up in Scotland at the weekend, and
Not quite,
Cumbria,
not quite at
yeah.
the border. So
yeah, that's good. All good stuff. Okay, folks, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much for your time. Really
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
that. Thank
Okay,
you.
take care.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.